Alabama Outdoorsman. Today I'm going to go over my top 4 confidence baits. These are the baits that I will always have out on the deck of the boat when we go to a new lake or when we go to a tournament and we're pre-fishing for a tournament. 2 of them will be search baits and then 2 of them will just be regular. So I'm going to go ahead and go over the non-search baits first. And I'm going to show what I throw them on, what line, everything like that. So the first thing is just a regular Texas rig. You can catch a fish on a Texas rig on any lake in the country. And so what I have is a just a 1/4 ounce tungsten weight. I always use tungsten because you can just feel the bottom a lot better. I usually peg it just so it's not sliding up and down my line. And on here right now is just a Zoom Speedworm in green pumpkin, and then I just have a 3/0 Trocar hook on there, EWG. I usually use EWGs, and so that's my first setup, or my first style of bait I like. And then what I have 3 things that I like throwing on this. The first one is a speedworm, like what's on there right now. Then I like throwing speed crawls. Just a really small bait. You can usually find fish with it, and then bump your bait size up once you find them to get the bigger ones. And if I'm throwing these, I'll put a 2/0 hook on because it sits a lot better. And then for either bigger bites, I'll use a destroyer, or if I like the baby destroyers a lot better, just for Texas rigs, and also like throwing them on Carolina rigs also too. But the destroyer, if you haven't seen it, is just has 2 little long legs on the back, and they get up and kick and cause some commotion, so they're really good for Texas and Carolina rigs. And then on this setup, I throw it on a it's gonna be hard to see it because I don't have much space over here, but it is a Kistler Mag 2. It's 7 foot long. It's a medium heavy. It's a fast action. By far probably one of my favorite rods that I have. And paired with it, I have a Lew's Tournament MB. This is the Speed Spool LFS, or LFS. And on it I have 15-pound Seaguar Abrazex. It's one of my favorite setups to throw. That Mag 2 is very, very sensitive, and has the right power, and it's light. And if you drop it in the water, it floats, which is really nice. Alright, on to the next setup. If I want to go really finesse, I like throwing a Dropshot. And the Dropshot, I just have a Kistler Argon Finesse Series. Let's see. Yeah, Kistler Argon Finesse Series. It's a medium. It's a 6'9" medium, extra fast. This is one of the best rods I've used for drop shotting, and you can throw a shaky head on it. If I throw a shaky head, I like to go up to a medium heavy. And I just have a Lew's, I don't even know what kind of reel this is. This thing's old. Speed Spin with 15 pounds Power Pro braid and I think a 10-pound leader, Trocar size 1 hook, and I don't know what size weight this is. But yeah, this is my drop shot setup. And I like throwing drop shots. You can catch a lot of fish. Most of them aren't the biggest fish in the world, but you can throw you can catch a lot of them. So if it's running late in the day, and you just need a limit, you can catch fish on it. And also, if you're following somebody, like if you're a co-angler, if they're throwing something bigger, a lot of times you can pick the finicky fish up that missed the first one. You can pick them up with a drop shot. And I picked 3 things I like throwing on it. is just a regular robo worm. This is Aaron's Magic with red flake in it, 6-inch. I also like these Kitech leeches, just a little bit smaller. They're very flexible. Like if you hold it, it'll bend all the way down. Have great action. And then also I like the Kitech Swing Impact. These are 3 inches. And these things are just really small, imitate little bait fish. And they work really well. That paddle tail has a lot of action in it when you just bump it on, or just slightly shaking it. It's really thin. The tail's really thin, so it has a lot of movement in it, even if you're not really moving it. And if you like Kitech or just want to try Kitech out, send me a DM on Instagram, and I have a code for you to use, so you can get your first or your order discounted if you're just wanting to try it out, or if you love them and want to order some more. Alright, those are my 2 just plastics that I throw. The next thing I like to throw is a Squarebill, especially in shallower water or rocks, wood, stuff like that. And if we're in grass, I'll throw a rattle trap, lipless. And my favorite Squarebill is their Rashi. This is the 5. This one dives 5 foot, and it's in like a sexy shad. And this is by far probably my most expensive setup I have. And being expensive, it pays off because it's great quality. This is the Kistler KLX filling reel, and it's meant just for moving baits. They have a whole line of things that are just meant for moving baits. And it's a graphite. The shaft is graphite, but one second, on the end you have fiberglass. So they bond it together, and the fiberglass gives you all the stretch you need to pin the fish with the treble hooks, but the graphite gives you all the sensitivity. So it's an all-around great cranking rod or anything moving rod. So this is probably my favorite rod, and it's paired up with a Tournament Pro, a Lew's Tournament Pro, with, I think this is 14-pound Sunline Sniper, and the reel is a, let's see, a 6/8 to 1. So it's a little bit speedy, but you can slow it down with how you reel it. But yeah, this is by far my most expensive setup right now. But it's well worth the money when you're throwing like crankbaits and stuff. I've thrown 6XDs on this with no problem at all, and you can still launch them even though it's only 6'11". You can still launch them really far, and it doesn't tire your arm out. You can throw them all day. So that's that one. And then my last setup I like is Swimbaits. And the only swim bait I throw is the Kitech Swing Impact Fats. They have them in several different sizes, a ton of different colors, and they just tend to catch fish more than any other swim bait I've thrown. And I rig them up 2 different ways. One way is with a trocar. This is a trocar with little corkscrew on the end, 3/0 trocar, 1/4 ounce weight. You can really throw it out there pretty far. And then it's just the regular swim bait. I'll throw this on the top of grass and stuff like that, around grass edges, around wood. You can throw it around anything. So this is a very versatile bait that'll catch fish on pretty much any lake you fish. You just downsize it for some and upsize it for the others. And right here I have bluegill flash, and this is in the either 5. It's in 5 something. I cut the tag off. But it's in bluegill flash, so it's a lot bigger. So I'd use a 5/0 on these, and then with the 3.8, you either want to throw a 2/0 hook or a 3/0 hook. And this is in gold flash minnow. So this one kind of imitates shad or golden shad or whatever they're called. We don't have them around here, but you can also imitate a bluegill with this one. and the bottom has a lot of flash in it, so you can imitate shad too. This is one of my favorite ones to throw, along with the silver shiners. But I'll throw them. The way I usually throw them is with this is a owner flashy swimmer, and as you can see, it's just an underspin. It's got the little blade on the bottom, corkscrew bait keeper on there, and then it's a 1/4 ounce weight. So again, you could throw them out there and they'll sink down to where you want them, and just reel them in. Maybe pop it a few times, stuff like that. And this is the rod I throw it on. It is a Kistler Magnesium TS, and it's a crank rod on roll rod. It's not completely meant for small swim baits, but it is a medium heavy. Let's see if I can find the specs on it. It's a medium heavy, 7 foot, moderate fast, and on here I just have a cheap speed spool. It's just a regular speed spool, I think. Yeah, 6:8 to 1 gear ratio, and it has, can't remember if this is 12 or 14. I usually throw it on 14 pound because if you're gonna throw it up in the grass, sometimes you need to winch them out of some thicker stuff. But yeah, this is one of my favorite setups because you're imitating bait fish, and with the Kitex, they have so much action in them, and if you don't want as much action, you can use a bigger hook, and it'll actually slow that tail down some, so it doesn't spin as much. But thanks for watching. Be on the lookout for some more videos. I dislocated my leg last tournament, so I'm not going to be able to fish as much right now because I'm going to rehab. But some videos will be coming out soon of doing a little bit of fishing. And thanks for watching.